Hello, hello. Have you ever wondered where the best place to nap is in Elden Ring? Probably not, considering there's only one location in the entire game with an actual bed there. But anyway, I am going to rate each location in terms of its nappability, how well I could sleep here. The tiers I've made here are out cold for the best sleep ever, comfy nap, okay sleep, disturbed night, bad sleep, and nap of nightmares. So first off, a little rule, I'm not going to be allowing the divine towers or any of the rises, as they're across the entire map, and it kind of seems like the easy option to have a tower with a nice bit of shelter and a guaranteed mat or rug to lie on. So without further ado, let's just start straight away with Limgrave. The first place that came to mind in terms of looking for a place to nap was the Church of Ella. I just thought, by this fire and this little merchant, it would be quite cozy. You know, you've got a sort of structure around you to keep you safe. Yeah, it just seems pretty warm. I could definitely have a nap here. Despite the fact there's no bed, there's some comfy grass here. I think this is a solid start. I'll put this in okay sleep. Next up we have Castle Morn in the Weeping Peninsula. And I couldn't find anywhere comfy at all. The closest I could find was this little room here, but even here the ground is made of stone. I suppose there are some candles and torches, which is quite nice, but not comfy at all. So I'll put this in bad sleep. Next up we have Caelid, and as you may have guessed, I struggled to find somewhere cozy in this nightmare place. My first thought was the isolated merchant shack, hoping there'd be a bit of shelter, but unfortunately the rain was still getting through. The sand looks kind of comfy, but I don't think I would sleep well here, so I decided to keep looking. I ended up in Celia, the town of sorcery, where I found this little room, but again, it didn't look very comfy, just sort of a stone ground. And I noticed you could actually hear a nearby troll, which was slightly disconcerting. So I decided to keep looking. Then I remembered the area where you fight the giant magic ball thing, and you have to go past all these little rock worms. I thought this little area could work nicely. There's a sort of crystal thing here. You could probably hide behind it. It's probably a safe spot once you've cleared the enemies out of the way. But this still isn't a great area. I mean, you're still aware that you're in Caelid. This place is awful. Although considering the fact that this is still Caelid, it could be a lot worse. You know, you got some nice crystals, sort of chill area, but it's still going in bad sleep. Next we have Laonia of the Lakes, and I thought a good spot would be the Carrion Study Hall. There are no beds here, obviously, and I looked for a nice rug. This first one unfortunately had a skeleton on it, so I head through to the next room, and here I found a nice cozy little spot with some candles and a nice roof above my head. A somewhat comfy looking rug. It's okay, it could be better, but it'll do. I'll put this in Disturbed Night. Next up we have the Academy of Raya Lucaria, and unfortunately the best I could find again was this rug on a stone floor. Now, it's not the worst, it could be better, but again this is just another one where it fits into a Disturbed Night. Next up we have the Chapel of Anticipation, and again we've got another rug on a stone floor. You'll notice that as a theme soon, but the problem with this one is there's a dead maiden right there, which isn't very nice, and not much light, so I think this one's gonna have to go in bad sleep. Now we move on to the best of the best. The only place in the entire game with a proper bed, the Round Table Hold. And as expected, it's perfect. A nice soft bed, even a pillow by a fire. It's comfy, it's cozy, it's warm. There's even a rug next to us on a wooden floor, which would be even better than so many of the other options we've seen so far. Easily out cold. Now we move on to Stormvale Castle, where I found this nice little room here where we've got a little fireplace and another, what seems to be a sort of rug or sheet on a wooden floor. It's not too bad. It's okay. The only thing I would say is the sheet we're lying on doesn't look very comfortable or clean, but the fire's nice, so I'll put this in okay sleep. Now we move on to the Redmane Castle, and the best place I could find wasn't much. There's like a little rug here in this room. Yeah, not the most comfy of places. I think this is another one to just go into Disturbed Night. Now we move on to the Volcano Manor, where I found this lovely little rug here on this. Actually, the stone slabs here look kind of softer here, look kind of more smooth, but this one's got a really nice red fireplace here. It's very quiet. No sparks in the air or anything. Nice and empty. This will be the first one to go into comfy nap. Now we have the shaded castle, and here I found a nice little secluded area with some dim firelight and some soft ground with some plant life, these statues. It's pretty cozy, nothing special. I'd probably put this in disturbed night though still. I'm honestly surprised I was able to find somewhere that was somewhat comfortable, considering this is like a poison area. Now we have the Altars Plateau, where I thought the Minor Erdtree Church might work as a good little nap place. There's somewhat soft ground here, enough building around to the point where I'd feel safe to sleep here. I'd probably put this in okay sleep. Now we move on to Lanedell, the royal capital. I think the best spot probably would be the bedchamber. It doesn't look the most comfy bed in the world. It looks like it's made of stone, but the giant cloth helps, and the giant space is nice, and having a nice little own secluded room feels good. I would put this in okay sleep. It's nothing special, it's not a proper bed, but I could certainly see myself dozing off for an hour or two here. Next up we have the mountaintops of the giants, and straight off the bat I thought I would be freezing if I had to sleep here, so I thought the first thing I'd do is change to something a little more appropriate. But yeah, I thought a good spot might be the liturgical town Ordina. I just feel like the lighting here is quite cozy. It's nice and quiet, not really many threats about, some little ghost wolves, but they're chill. The best spot I could find was a little bit of shelter here from the snow. It's not ideal, and I probably still would be too cold. I'd put this in bad sleep. No surprises here, it's literally a cold, snowy mountain. Now we have Carrier Manor, and again it's another one of those cases where it's a rug on a stone floor. But these stones again look somewhat soft, a little smooth, and the rug looks kind of comfy too. I'd probably put this in disturbed night. It's just another one where it's a rug on stones and not great views or anything either. Now we have Mikola's Halig Tree, and the first section was completely awful. There were ants everywhere. I had to completely leave that. Not safe, just messy and nowhere to sleep. But I had this idea in my head that the area where you fight Melania has a lot of flowers and is very cozy, so I made my way to the boss fight, and in my cockiness, I thought I would defeat her quite easily. That didn't go as planned. But as I was fighting her, I realized that the entire area is sort of full of water, so I don't think it'd be possible for me to have a good nap here even if I tried. So I ended up playing it safe and heading to the prayer room, where once again, I found a rug and some smooth stones. The best we could find, unfortunately, which will be another one for the disturbed night. Now we have Castle Sol, where the only somewhat comfortable and roofed area I could find was in this little church here. Needless to say, this place is not good. It's still cold from the doors being wide open here, and there's also a chance that the night ghost will see you and attack you straight into Nap of Nightmares. Next we have Crumbling Farum Azula, and this is pretty much the only room I could find where you don't hear tornadoes and there's not a threat nearby immediately or any skeletons around you, and it's Malekith's boss fight area. And unfortunately the ground looks really uncomfortable. It's stone, there are slabs. This is the flattest area I could find in this whole room. Yep, this is going in bad sleep. Next up we have Mount Gelmir, and as expected there aren't many good places here. The best I could find was on top of this little tower. There's a little rug on a wooden floor, but you know, the roof is kind of exposed. There's dead bodies here. Really not great. I can't quite put it in Nap of Nightmares though. Another one for bad sleep. Now we have the Deep Root Depths, and I really struggled to find a place that wasn't entirely waterlogged. Unfortunately, the only somewhat comfortable place I found with a nice little roof over our heads was on this muddy ground right where the Prince of Death can stare at you while you sleep. Yeah, this place is pretty awful for finding anywhere to sleep. Yeah, this is going in Nap of Nightmares. Now we have the Ainsel River, and I think this is a really little cozy area. I don't mind sleeping on grass that much, so I think this is a good spot. We've got a little waterfall nearby. There's a little roof above our heads. There's some falling leaves. It's pretty cozy. I'd put this in okay sleep. I feel like I could have a nice little nap here. Then we have Noxtella, the Eternal City. This is another one where it's quite a comfy ground. We've got grass, but most importantly, there's a lovely little starry ceiling, I guess you could call it, above us, and a nice waterfall beside us to provide a bit of an ambience. This is really cozy. I feel like I'd have a lovely sleep here. I think this one goes in comfy nap. And yes, there are giant ants which are quite nearby, but they probably won't disturb you in your slumber here. Now we have the Lake of Rot, and this is pretty much the only land in this entire area. Other than that, there is obviously just the Lake of Rot, and as you might have been able to guess, it's awful, it's horrible. Not comfy at all, and I even lay in a strange position here which didn't really help, but yeah, easily nap of nightmares. Horrid little place. Now we go to the Mogwin Palace, and this place is also completely awful. The only ground in the area is made of stone, and you're surrounded by graves. The only thing that is somewhat redeemable about this place is the starry night sky, but this is completely uncomfortable. I would not be able to sleep here. Again, another one for the nap of nightmares. Now we have Nokron, the other Eternal City, and I do like this again. We've got the grass, the soft ground, the starry sky, but something about this doesn't appeal quite as much to me as the other Eternal City. I think it's maybe how high up the ceiling is, and it's a little more well lit here and a bit more exposed. I'm not quite as keen on it, so I'll put it in okay sleep. Next up we have the Siofra River, where I chose this little spot here by the Deer Boss entrance. I think the fire sounds are nice and cozy, and you've got the stars above you again here. This is probably just slightly better than the previous one, but I can't quite put it in comfy nap, so I feel like this sits well in the okay sleep. The fire sounds and the starry sky is certainly a nice touch. And lastly, we have the Subterranean Shunning Grounds. Considering the area where this is, I feel like this is the best you're gonna get. I mean, you've got a rug still, which is surprising considering we're in literal sewers. But yeah, pretty uncomfortable, huge room. This one's going in bad sleep for sure. And with that, we have covered every location in Elden Ring, or at least in the main game. Let me know in the comments if you can think of a better place to have a nap in each location. And that's all. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.